we are back again to our webinar. We will proceed to the last two presentations. The first one is from Aristotelis Kamagis. Aristotelis Kamagis is from Aegean Solutions. Aegean Solutions is a company that is a member of the consortium of COASTLINE and is the main host of this webinar. And Aristotelis Kamagis is a product designer, so his presentation is about strategic design and branding for startup business and intellectual property issues. So the floor is yours, Aristotelis.
Thank you. I want to thank you everybody for attending this webinar. Today we will talk about the branding and the relationship to the startups. To begin with, can you all see the screen? I don't know.
Yes.
Can
Yes,
you see the presentation? Okay,
yes,
thank
yes.
you very much. Okay, first of all, let's see why branding matters for startups. We all know when the previous speakers talked about the fierce competition that startups face. We have to admit that a strong brand builds trust, differentiation, and loyalty, and we'll see later on what we mean by that. Strategic design aligns your business vision with customer perceptions. Actually, especially with technological companies, it's really important to find which need they manage to fulfill through the product and how they can relate and make this magic connection between the consumer and the technology provided. And also we have to understand that the brand is our story, or organization's brand actually expresses our story and deploys a whole narrative and invites the customer to participate in this narrative through the use of our products and services and through the unique experience we manage to create for them. So let's see some statistics that maybe prove those points. So we can see that inconsistent branding can cost companies up to 20 to 30% in potential revenue due to confusion among customers and employees. So this is the price we pay for inconsistency. 60% of consumers will not engage with a brand that has poor or unprofessional visual identity. Companies without a clear, cohesive brand strategy waste up to 40% of their marketing budget, which for a startup company with limited capital to burn, it's a really important statistic. 70% of employees say they do not understand the company's brand values, which leads to lower employee engagement and productivity. And also companies with strong, consistent branding see a 33% higher customer loyalty rate compared to those with weak branded strategies. So maybe we are starting to make the case that branding is really important. So let's see some more information about branding. So when we design a branding strategy, we have to be able to design our vision, our mission, and our purpose. So every organization, when they stand out in the market, they have to be perceived as they have to be available, to be able to share their vision, mission, and purpose, and to distinguish themselves from other organizations, competitive organizations, perhaps. So it's really important to conduct a competitive analysis and see how our competitors position themselves in the market, and then actually see if there are unmet needs that maybe our technology can focus on and follow disruptive, innovative strategy. Okay. and maybe focus on these specific needs of the market and then start to develop a product later on. We have to be able to create a brand persona that resonates with our audience. So it's really important to be able to understand what part of the market is the one we are aiming at. And we have to be able to develop a cohesive, consistent visual identity. So when we're talking about branding, we're talking about our brand identity, which includes our logo, our colors, our typography, the tone of voice. You see, we're starting to create what we call this persona, the way we are perceived by the people. We have to have clear brand values, what our startup stands for. For example, is it innovation, is it sustainability, or any other area we target? We have to be able to define our target audience, primary, secondary, to see who are the people we're serving problems for. And we have to identify what makes us unique in the market so we can position ourselves in the market and find our unique selling proposition so we can build our brand based on this competitive advantage. But we all have to also understand, because a lot of people understand branding as something visual and only visual. But branding is also an asset for the organization, for the company. There is this thing called brand capital, which is all the intangible assets that a business owns. So we have of course our technology, we have our patents, but also we have some intangible assets that we can build upon our brand. And those are things like brand awareness, which increases the likelihood of customers choosing our business. So brand awareness is how many people know our brands or brand, okay? How aware is the market of our brand existence? And also we have things like brand loyalty. So do we have satisfied customers that are committed and they make repetitive usage of our service or repetitive buys of our products, etc.? And then we have the brand equity, which is the difference between the perceived quality, how customers perceive the quality for products or services, and what is the actual quality, what is the actual value of our service. Obviously, we want to create added value to our offerings. And we also have the brand image, which is all the associations, the feelings and impressions the customers get from our brand. And this because there is this saying that says that brand is a promise. So when someone sees our brand or product or service or a brand for the first time, it creates a promise in their mind that our brand will be able to deliver for them. So this promise should be able to met by our brand. So the brand image is really important, because what we show our organization to be, it is what our organization should be at the end of the day when users and clients experience our products. So let's talk about intellectual property in branding. Here we have to understand that when we create this brand, and because our brand is a precious capital for the organization, we have to be able to protect our trademarks, our logo, or name, or slogan. Okay. So we have also to secure our rights for the designs. We have either industrial designs, utility model. Mr. Fanu talked about this earlier on. Also, we have to be really aware of for patents and trade secrets, because in the area of technology, we all understand that a lot of startups, they're really, they start with a specific technology that they have to be able to patent, so they can have a competitive advantage in the market, and they can differentiate themselves early on. So obviously, we talked about these issues before, so I'm not gonna talk more. So why protect your brand? We have to be able to prevent others from using our brand assets. We want to be distinguishable. We want to be unique. We want to have an experience that is totally different from our competitors. So we have to be able to prevent others from using our brand assets. Also, as mentioned before, credibility is really important for startups, especially for stakeholders and for CVs and investors that they want to invest in our company. So it's really important to be able to establish credibility with the stakeholders. And also, we secure long-term value for our business by maintaining and developing the right brand strategy. So what are some common IP challenges for startups? Actually, overlooking IP registration, choosing a brand name that conflicts with existing trademarks is also an issue, failing to secure IP in multiple jurisdictions, if international, and neglecting IP clauses in employee or contractor agreements, which might as well create problems later on. We're going to see some case studies in order to showcase what is the brand value and how branding has an actual value as a capital. We're going to start with Nokia. I believe Mr. Fanu talked about Nokia earlier in her presentation. We all know that Nokia used to be the market leader in mobile phones in earlier decades, but after the entrance of Android and iOS devices, they saw a decline. They tried to do a cooperation with Microsoft that lasted only 3 years. What they managed to do, though, is because Nokia had this, it was a legendary brand, and they had this brand capital, they actually licensed their brand to another Finnish company called HMD, and they are still HMD creates products under the licensed Nokia brand to this day. So although Nokia is not in the business of mobile phones anymore, their brand still exists under the licensed deal. And we can talk about the brand revival. Actually, their products are targeting to a specific part of the market. Those that they don't want the complexities of the smartphones. They want something more simple and efficient. And they managed to revive the brand and also to create a revenue stream from something totally intangible. So I guess this is an interesting case study. We will see now something a little bit different, but it has to do with the strategy of an organization. I don't know if you are aware of Park, which was a research center created by Xerox back in the 70s. It was a research center where most of the technologies we're still using in what we call the personal computer and the whole technology ecosystem we're using today. A lot of those technologies were actually invented in this research center. Xerox, though, didn't realize the potential of those new technologies, and although they patented their technologies, they let other players like Apple and Microsoft to copy their GUI and create their legacies from then on based on those innovative for that era technologies. So because Xerox was primarily focused on copyright and printing businesses, they did not recognize the potential. The company, although they had created the first personal computer with GUI, they didn't actually push it on the market. 1979, Steve Jobs and other Apple executives visited Park and actually took their graphic designers and developers to see this GUI, and they developed Macintosh based on those findings. And also Microsoft, through the cooperation with Apple, through the Microsoft Office products, they copied the GUI from Apple and they used it for Windows later on. So what we see here is an example what happens when our product strategy and our company values sometimes do not encompass innovation. They do not understand the trends that are going to be applied in the next decades, and a huge opportunity was lost for this research organization and also for this company. As I read, actually, Xerox never tried to legally chase the other companies. They actually sold the Park to another organization, but they missed a huge opportunity to be one of the first players in the digital future. Last but not least, I want to talk about Apple, especially in terms of the brand capital, because I believe that is this brand that defined what defined after the new millennia. They defined what is the relationship between technology and human. They actually humanized technology and they created a new standard. And how they managed to do that, okay? First of all, they had very clear values, brand values. Innovation, simplicity, clear messaging. To be clear, innovative, and simple. And simplify the technology in every step. And we can see that they incorporate those values in every product, in every service, in everything they deploy to the market. So they have what we call this coherent brand strategy. And also they try to build emotional connections with their customers, especially if you haven't had the chance to see the Think Different campaign, the Think Different talk of Steve Jobs in 1997, where he actually made this connection about how unique are the users of Apple products, to build this, to show that the users of the products are people who think different than the others. It's a really important steps also in terms of marketing, and we can still see how people who bought Apple products actually feel this emotional connection and also have this customer loyalty. They're more likely to buy a new Apple product rather than go to another competitor. So this emotional connection was something that is still being managed by Apple. Another important thing is the brand consistency across all touch points. So either you go to a retail store, or you go to the website, or through their products or services through their devices, we can see a consistency that incorporates those very clear three brand values. Okay. And we can also see that, as I told before, I think from personal experience, we can see that there is a lot of loyal customers. So they build on brand loyalty, although they position themselves in a premium part of the market. So although they create products and services that they are sold at premium prices, they still have this advantage on those markets, which is a nice lesson to see that if the experience we create is the experience that customers want to be part of, then we can give added value to our products and services. And finally, financial impact and brand value. They have like a $3 trillion market value. I'll continue to close. So what are the actionable steps for startups? We have to be able to create a memorable and meaningful logo and visual identity, ensure that your brand name is legally available and culturally appropriate, especially if we're going global. We have to register trademarks and copyrights early, seek professional advice for our IP protection if we don't have like a department in our company or a partner. Develop a brand guideline document for consistent communication across all departments and across our partners, and regularly audit and refine our branding as we scale, so we can be sure that we keep in touch, we don't lose the contact with our customers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aristoteles, for the presentation. I don't see we have no question. Don't know if anyone has a question. You must place it now. So we don't have. So we will proceed to the last presentation. This presentation, I will make this presentation. So I will share my screen. So can you see the presentation? Aristoteles?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can.
The title of the presentation is Ethical Intellectual Property Issues in Artificial Intelligence Applications, Challenges and Opportunities in the Digital World. I work in GN Solutions. My name is Savas Varitimiadis. My first degree is archaeologist, and now I work on AI chatbot as a PhD student. Also in GN Solutions, we create AI chatbots. So during this process and in creating AI systems and chatbots and other systems that we want to create, we came up with intellectual property issues and also some ethical issues, and they are all mixed with how we try to use the content in all these years in creating application for cultural organizations. Cultural organizations are really sensitive with their data. And we came up and we are trying to protect and make good data. These are one of the strong advantages in our company. So we try to manage to go from traditional applications to AI application, and we came up and also to generative AI application. And we are now have some challenges. And also, you know this AI hype, and everyone has these problems about where the data go and what AI systems produce. So this is, I will talk not an AI expert, I will talk as an expert that has both knowledge of artificial intelligence and culture protection, how culture specialists want their content to be treated. So, a small definition of artificial intelligence is systems that perform tasks that require human intelligence as analysis, language understanding.
Sava, excuse me. I think we don't see the presentation. We see the slides. Do you have another screen with the presentation?
You see? I don't see.
Yeah,
I
the
see.
slides are not changing.
I didn't change. Now I changed the first slide. Just talking without. Now, do you see this?
Maybe you could do full screen. You could do full screen and then share the full screen.
Yeah, no, they're not changing. You need to exit and re-enter.
Okay.
Yeah. Exit, put it full screen and we.
Okay. Do you see now?
Yes.
Yes. So,
Yes.
okay, thank you. So there are systems that perform tasks that require that human intelligence was able to do, as analysis, language understanding, decision making, and many more. The role of AI in content creation is producing text, images, music, video, and other art forms, production of software code, or even now software apps, production of other data, inferences, summaries, geographic data maybe, analysis, or as we talk about geographic data, they can make some conclusions about geographic problems maybe, or some predictions. The main problem is who owns the intellectual property to the content produced by AI. Example, I have some examples. A writer that uses an AI systems to build the plot of his book in order to have a success. Is he really the writer of this book? Who is the writer? Another example is AI system linked to a cultural database to make prediction or answer user questions. Do we need to consult the museum that gives the database or that has the database? Where does the data go to if we talk about generative AI to OpenAI or other systems? How this data will be used? Maybe there are some claims, but do we have an open source code? Do we know how they are used? So in this presentation, we'll set some questions of the ethical, legal, and social impact of the use of AI systems and how they connect to intellectual property. AI creates content through data analysis, pattern recognition, and learning from huge databases. They create the LLM, the language, large language models. At this point, as I know, is not able to produce semantic notions, just understand numbers through advanced algorithms and provide the answer that that calculates that it's common to what the person wants, the user wants. Some tools you already know is ChatGPT, Copilot for text, DALL-E and Midjourney for images, and there are also some other from creating PowerPoints or creating videos or even movies or even new music. So AI contributes in all these things. So is the AI creator in the human sense or just a tool in the hands of the users? And which part of the creation can be attributed to the AI? The prompting that you make is the crucial point of what the AI produce, or it just take the prompt and make some suggestions, and then the creator use these suggestions. And also in this creativity, does AI holds the creativity of the creator? Is a big question. Does it? Do we really have creativity here? There are certainly some good aspects of AI. AI can act as a creative partner, as we said, helping people to push the boundaries of their imaginations to make new things. They use it as a tool. They're producing content with more speed and accuracy, maybe, and new content that they were using a huge amount of time to create it. And also, everyone right now have, not everyone, most of the people have access to creative tools for regarding their financial means. Maybe some models are only for the companies that create them, and maybe they will be used only for some big organizations. But at this point, there are many tools that the people and the creators can use. So there is a big impact on all industries. Everyone is talking about AI and how this changed their industry. There is increased production of digital content in the art industry. Difficulties but here is some questions. There are some difficulties about determining the authenticity of what is created. We don't know what is authentic in art. Maybe someone can put in some prompting and make a painting that is similar to Van Gogh paintings, and then say this is a Van Gogh painting, and you have to test the authenticity. There are tools that are made to. They are already making tools that are testing the authenticity of the digital artwork, any artwork that is made. Also in media and entertainment, you can see mass production of the content, any kind of content, from videos, from memes, from pictures, from any kind of content. Questions about the quality of this AI production. And also there are some questions about how this content is used by you can make some content showing a person doing something bad and then accuse him that he done this and this. Here is the picture of this. You can see it. And also there are some impact in education and research. There is a facilitation of teaching with AI tools. People can make some easily some good lessons, or can produce some content very easily. And the other aspect is that students are writing essays with AI. We have examples that teachers are receiving essays of AI that they are similar, or they can put it in an AI tester and see that it was really made only by AI. And also there are risks of data manipulation and deceptions in research, as we can, as a researcher, I can make a data set that does not exist. I can ask for a data set that no one will understand if this data set is real, and I can use it in my research. So there's all these ethical challenges. In intellectual property, who owns the rights to the data or creations produced by AI? Who is responsible when third-party rights are infringed? Transparency. Users need to know if a work has been created by AI. Explainability of AI-based creation. Is it clear how AI works, how the systems works, how we use them, how creators use them, and these are all some challenges to be, and an ethical liability. The one that creates the data, is he biased? I have a story about a chatbot in Korea. Maybe you have heard it, that some people were talking bad to the chatbot. They were always talking bad. They were talking with insults, and the chatbot was training in these insults, and it start talking to people with insults and start making sexistic and other racism comments to the people that use it, and then they cut off the usage of this chatbot. And who is responsible for the dissemination of misleading or harmful results produced by AI? Who will take the responsibility? The system, the people that disseminate AI content. And if something bad happens, who will be charged? Also, it undermines, as we said before, the human creativity and the scientific expertise, and also undermining the intellectual property when AI contributes to the final creation. If I create something with the AI system, do I really have intellectual property on this creation, or do I have a shared intellectual property with the people that have designed the AI system? So here we come to the legal challenges. The user is who is the author? The user, the creator of the model, the owner of the LLM. Recently, there are some legislations that have arrived, but there are really some issues open to regulations to be regulated. It's the AI Act regulation that the European Union has published into the previous year in 2024. And I have a link here. And also in 2023, there is an ISO standard for companies that can use in order to be, in order to find how to certify how they use AI in their company structure and their company solutions. Also, there are open issues about how national laws and regulations varies significantly between each country, and how this can be addressed. So I will finish with some solutions that they are open. They create new frameworks for AI legislation to protect intellectual property. Some authorities must set some guidelines for the use of AI based on transparency and accountability. And also the public must be educated, and and also the creators must be educated about their rights and their responsibility regarding the use of AI tools. So these are some questions, these are some ethical and social dilemmas that now we are facing, and with the expansion of AI systems, I'm not. I believe that it will be regulated, and it will reach to a point that people will use it in the right way. I have hope. I know the humanity might go in a different direction. I believe that we will all see in the next years things that we didn't imagine. Maybe